MK5 GTI. So we're gonna be changing out the intercooler.
Daddy.
So it's the intercooler from Mk6 Golf R. We'll be putting this in here shortly. So you kind of what it look like. First thing, remove the front bumper. In most people cases, you guys are going to have a fender well here, and you'll have bolts all down here that you have to remove. Also, from underneath the car, you'll usually have a splash shield and bolts all around the edge of the bumper here and around, and then also through the fender well and the other wheel as well, all through here. I have none of those, so I won't be removing any of that. In my case, first things first, we'll be removing the grill. I just have 2 bolts. I think this one's like T25 and that was like T27 in my case. So if you're going to be working on Volkswagens, I suggest you get you like a Torx bit set. It's kind of what I have here. T25. Now with those 2 removed, I should be able to remove the grill now. In my case with the bumper, I only have 2 Phillips head screws, so I'll be removing that next. Now once you have all your screws removed, the best way to remove the bumper is kind of get into here, kind of pull it back. You'll see that. Go to the other side. Pull back. You'll see it starts to release. The only thing holding up my front bumper is this here. So I'll need 2 hands, but you'll yank that out. Perfect. Now be careful. You'll have some lines here. I'm expecting you to have more. Mine just have these 2 hookups here. But usually you'll have the fog lights hooked up as well. Next up, we'll be removing the headlights. There's 1, 2, and right down here, 3. I believe they're T30s. Excuse me, I was incorrect. These are T25s. So we'll just work those out. Now before moving the headlights, mine aren't stock headlights. As you can see, I got a few connections. Mine's just a little something like this. Yours is usually plugged in probably like this if it's stock. You got these 2 clips they'll pull out, but you don't necessarily have to remove these. I'm not just gonna kind of lay it off to the side. And then don't forget to do this side as well, all T25s. Next up, we'll be removing, I believe this is like the headlight support bracket. This is a T30, and this one in here, there's a bolt in here, it's actually a T20 for mine. I'll do the exact same thing on this side as well. And you'll see mine's is hanging on tape because mine's actually broken. I brought it like that. Next up, we're going to remove these two. I believe it is a T30 for my car. I always say my car because it could be different for yours, depending on who assembled it back together. Next set. These are 16 mil to 4, so we'll be removing these 4 on each side. It's gonna make it a little faster for me. Hit the other side. One thing you might want to do is keep at least one bolt in, because once this comes down, it goes down. It's probably just put in like just a little bit, screwing in just a little bit. Next up, we'll be removing this. It is also a T30, same on each side, and then this side as well, T30. All right, I almost forgot about these two. There's 2 more. There's one right down here, and there's another one right here. The T30, going to take those out. They're on each side. So with those removed, you'll start to see now you can pull this out. And that's part of the reason why you want to leave this one in, so it doesn't just fall out on you. So same thing on this side. Got that one up here. And then there's one more up here, but mine's just missing. One thing you can do as well, try to sit something kind of underneath here, especially if you're working alone, which I am. So when you go to remove these last 2 screws that's on each side, it's pretty much going to fall over. There we go, so that's the support beam is out. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I believe the only other thing holding this up is these 2 right here on each side. These are T30s. And then before you do move those 2, just a heads up, make sure you have this supported in case it don't fall over when you've done it before.
Weak is because I think I
So next up, we'll go ahead and remove this one here. This is T30, and then on this side, this is a T25.
Thirsty.
Of course, it's not the correct bolt. That's what happens when you buy an old car. Since I only have one hand, I can't really show you, but now you should be able to work this off. This should be pretty loose. I had to remove one of these here and kind of lift up, and then you'll see you're able to pull this out now. I haven't even removed the coolant hose, so the coolant's still in. So yeah, and for my car, I have to cut out the zip ties that's here. This line is running through the headlights. Alright, so now there's a couple of clips you need to remove. I'm actually just going to be removing the bolts in this one. Before we move any quicker, go ahead and just remove negative cable just to be on the safe side. $10 mil. back over. Next up, we're gonna remove the hood release. You'll take a screwdriver, put it in between, pry it out, and on the other side as well, take it, pry it out. You'll be left with the hood release. Just kind of lift up right here, and then you can lift this off like that, and that's your hood release. We'll skip over to this side. Right here, these clips just kind of pull back on it, but I'm probably gonna need a screwdriver. Running this in, just gonna pull it back. It should slide out. The best way I've seen to do it is get a flathead, put it in, just kind of twist, and that should start sliding it out, just like that. And with this one, I wish I could show you more, but you'll be able to just push down this clip, take a flathead, kind of sit it in between, and then twist as well. And you'll be doing it right here. Just kind of put it in, twist. And you'll do the same for the other side. I was going to remove the bolts, but we're not going to do it that way. Okay, so I tried to remove it, but that didn't happen. So I'm just going to remove those 2 bolts here. So yep, went ahead and removed those. That's what they look like. The T30s. Kind of hard to get to. Actually, no, my bad. T25s. T25s. So now, should be able to remove it now. There's actually one more. I just seen this here. One more clip here. If you want to remove it, I'm just gonna kick it to the side. Just like that. Just gonna kick it to the side. Okay, so now we'll work on removing the intercooler. We still have the intercooler piping. I didn't forget that, so that has to come out, and also on this side as well. But we'll go through the bolts. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 2, this one, and this one down here as well for the intercooler. And then probably, I think, these 2 right here. And before you remove the other, the one here and then the last 2, when you get that intercooler, you can just kind of swing it out a little bit, just give you enough space. So we'll go ahead and start taking out the intercooler piping. So just kind of get in between. So once you lift this out, this up like this is fine. Just be able to pop out intercooler piping, this first one. Might have some oil like mine's coming out. And the next one, I'm gonna have to get underneath the car. Just clip right here. And then grab that. And you have to lift this one out as well. Should be good. Now I'm gonna need 2 hands. Perfect. Both of them are out. So we'll work on removing the last 2 bolts, which is on this side here. Once you remove all the bolts, you can kind of throw back the AC unit a little bit and check this out. Sweet. This is the old intercooler. So the bolts also come out. It was 1 here, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Those are the 4, 5, and of course the back side you can see pretty simple. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then these pretty much just kind of pull out. I'll see if these fit the new intercooler I have that came from the Mk6 Golf R. Alright, so just show you the new one from the old one. This one's supposed to be a little bit bigger from the Mk6 R. And this is probably original. You see that right there? Yeah. So this probably been in the life of the car. The car has about 170 something thousand miles on it. Here's the new one. So yeah, I believe I'm gonna have to modify the hoses as well. They're not the same. Like this one has these clips. It's not like that on the Mk6. Alright, so going underneath the car. So we'll work on removing the rest of this intercooler piping. And there's a clip right there, just like the other one from before. And you know the drill, slide it in and pull out. Alright, so I got it sticking out. Let's go ahead and twirl it a little bit. Pop that out. Perfect. We'll do the other side next. Alright, so on the other side, see the intercooler piping. Mine's just held on by this clamp here. So we'll work on removing that. Just get like a flat head. And of course, you know, just twist it on out. Alright, went ahead and loosen it, as you can see. Next up, might have to get a flat head kind of in between the hose. Kind of try to get in there. Cause a little bit of disruption in the seal. And then we'll work on just kind of twisting it. And that should pop out just like that. Nothing too crazy. Now, one more thing I'm gonna need to clean up. It's like a wasp nest right in here on my radiator. So we're gonna clean that up as well. Alright, so next thing, I seen someone like cut through this to get access to the rest of the holes. So I'm gonna try that. The one thing I'll do, I'm save the O-ring, so I'm gonna slip the O-ring out. Maybe later. I never know if I'm gonna get me another Mk5 GTI or something similar. It's a good O-ring, so I'll keep that just in case. And we'll do the same for this one as well. And get in between it. Boom. We'll pull that out also. So it's getting a little dark. What I'll do first, I'll go ahead and put everything back in reverse order. So same way you put it in, go ahead and put that in reverse order. I'm not gonna record it, it's gonna make it a little longer than it needs to be. Just gonna put everything back the way you got it in. And just make sure you got the right one as well. So let's get it. Okay, so next up what we're gonna do with the intercooler holes, just gonna take a saw, something like this here. I just brought it from like Harbor Freight. It was in a full piece like that, and it comes with this for like $5. So of course this will be on right here. Just cut it off right there. Just keep sawing, and just demonstrate, you'll be sawing like that. Just keep sawing all the way down. You'll see I kind of cut a little bit of the holes right there, but not too much, so it should be good. And then we're gonna work on popping this out. That way we can save the whole hole instead of trying to cut it right here and losing a big chunk of it. And just show you what I did, I just took like just a screwdriver, just kind of put it in, and then I just pull back and leverage it out. And I keep pulling, and then you'll see eventually this will pop out. So just a quick demonstration. Perfect. So one down, and now you see we got a nice full holes. You can see I didn't cut all the way through, just about there. So it hasn't even gone all the way through. So this will be fine. So I'm getting ready to saw this one down next. Alright, so now you see I got this one cut down too. Same method, just keep cutting down. Kind of transfer it around like this, like that. So when I pop the rest of it out, I just kind of got in between there with the screwdriver. Just kept going down, popped it out. Might be a little damage on the holes, but should be fine. Like that's a little damage right there, but all of this is going to be inside, so it shouldn't really matter. So yep, well, I might have to get some hose clamps if I don't have any, but they should be ready to install now. Alright, so outside, I'll go ahead and grab the hose. Got me some clamps, I believe it's 2" to 3". Got them from Lowe's. It's all 66 each. If I need to upgrade on my wheel, for right now this should do. go ahead and remove the bag. So intercooler. It's gonna be fun getting this up here. It's a real tight fit. Alright, as you can see, I got one side in right here. I'll push it in some more, try to get it closer. And then of course this side goes in here. There's a hose clamp here already. Go ahead and grab one of your hose clips. Go ahead and put it on the end. Slip it through. And I might go ahead and do double. About 4. I might double up the hoses with these 2 clamps. So we'll see. Trying to fill this the best I can. So now that we have this side on as much as we can, we'll go to this side now. And we just go. All right, I need 2 hands. There we go. So we got both hoses on. Well, both sides are on. So we're just gonna strap it down now. All right, and there it is. So I have 2 of them kind of like this. Eventually I'm gonna get me like a V-band, but for right now, hopefully this holds up. It's not like I'm running like crazy amount of boost, 20 pounds at most. So this side seems to be pretty sturdy, so we'll move on to the next. All right, so move that bag, and of course we have this in here like that. Then I'm gonna work on putting this in onto here. All right, so go ahead, snap this in. Just keep in mind of the ring here, make sure that's in. Should give it a nice tug. It should have clipped in when you put it in as well. And then make sure before you do anything else, you already got the hose on here and the clamps already hanging, so that you can start running them in. Start tightening it down. I was only able to put 1 hose on this side, so we'll put 1 hose clamp here, tighten that down, and everything's on. Last thing to do is to give her a start. All right, let's go ahead and give her a start. Sounds good. Well, not too much of a difficult job. Just a little bit much being under the car, but other than that, not too hard. Well, y'all know what time it is. My name is Rich. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Try to get a little bit of video. You can get a quick 2nd gear pull. Yes, that intercooler definitely helped a lot. Yes. So Unitronic Stage 2. Right now, it's not high pressure fuel pump, so that's why I don't stay around 20. I'll hit 20 and then quickly start reverting back. But I believe once I get the high pressure fuel pump upgrade, we should start seeing 20 pounds of boost more often. But yeah, this definitely fixed a lot of my issues I had before with the car. So yeah, this is great. So yeah, definitely I would say intercooler upgrade was definitely necessary. I was never able to get 20 pounds. I was able to get 19 at most, but I'm able to start getting 20 in 3rd gear, which is really nice. So yep, Let's get it.